Well, so before I get started here, I just want to apologize for the poor image quality. This camera kind of sucks, but it's all I have to work with right now, so... Anyway, let's get started here. Well, first we got Grand Theft Auto 3. I've owned the same copy of the game for close to 17 years now. I bought it back around the time it came out. I think it was like October 2001. But anyway, yeah, I fired it up and I was like, wow, I mean, just blown away by it. I mean, it's like I can travel around the city and drive different cars, and I can kill people, and an ambulance shows up or the cops will chase you. It's just, I understand this was kind of still a new thing at the time. So yeah, probably one of my favorites in the series. Probably my second favorite overall. I'd say this is probably my first favorite in the series. Vice City, everybody loves this game. Yeah, it's great. They expanded on it quite a bit. Bigger city. Motorcycles and helicopters and airplanes even. Yeah, great game. Well, I'm in San Andreas. It's had a lot of depth to the series. You customize cars and wear different clothing. Well, you do that in Vice City a little bit, I guess, but it's a little more in depth in this game. But yeah, great game. Graphics, I don't think they were quite as good, but it was a bigger world, so I can understand it. Yeah, and when we have Liberty City Stories, it's actually a pretty good game. I like the soundtrack a lot. It takes place in like 1998, I believe. So there's a lot of like Method Man and Redman and stuff like that. DMX, whatever. It's it's the same map as Grand Theft Auto 3. They added some new areas and kind of changed them around, and they added motorcycles and some other new features. It's a good game. I have Vice City Stories. I don't care for this one as much as Liberty City Stories, but it's alright. There's a few new vehicles, and it kind of expanded upon the empire building. You could own a lot more businesses. You can kind of choose, like, if you want to make like a prostitution ring or whatever, or like a robbery focused business kind of thing. It's pretty decent. Well, then we have the Getaway. This is basically Grand Theft Auto in London. There's not as many side activities, like you can drive cars and kill people and run from the cops, but that's about it. But it's still a pretty good game. It's really cinematic, and it's the first game that used the F word quite a bit. Like throughout the whole game, there's swearing and a little bit of nudity even. Yeah, it's a decent game. I like it. It's more realistic than Grand Theft Auto. A little more grounded in reality, I guess. With the sequel, Black Monday, which it's okay. Basically the same gameplay. So you play as different characters, but yeah, overall I don't like it quite as much. It's decent though. I don't know, Mercenaries 2. This game's good on the 360. I've actually played it and beat it on there. On PlayStation 2, it's not very good. I wouldn't recommend it. Graphics are kind of crap. There's barely any traffic on the road when you're driving. It's just like an inferior version, basically. Yeah. Anyway. And then we have Gun, which is like an open world western. It's similar to Red Dead Redemption. The world's smaller and it's a little more focused. I actually prefer this over Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption myself. Speaker. Pretty solid game. You got some nice voice acting in there, like Ron Perlman and Thomas Jane and some other guys. Total Overdose, which is like Grand Theft Auto set in Mexico. With a little bit of Max Payne and Prince of Persia in there. You can slow down time and shoot dodge and run up walls and things like that. You can even rewind time, like if you screw up or whatever. There's a car combat game here, Twist Metal Black. It's just, the gameplay is kind of outdated, but I still like the stories. Like, they're really disturbing and kind of haunting almost. There's a lot of people that like had bad things happen to them and they're trying to redeem themselves or get revenge or whatever. Not a bad game. Then we have Roadkill, which is like a post-apocalyptic combat game set in open world. It's pretty decent, I guess. It's made by Terminal Reality, who made Blood Rain and some other games. There's just one funny radio station where these guys talk about like driving the various cars in the game and killing people. It's pretty funny. It's worth a listen. Manhunt, which is like a stealth game. It's like a live action, not live action, but it's like the video game equivalent of a snuff film. You know, it's pretty controversial when it came out. You know, it was pretty gory and, you know, pretty brutal. It's an okay game. Kind of difficult though. Red Dead Revolver, which I haven't played too much. It's kind of just a standard third-person shooter. Not much to say about it. You know, obviously they expanded upon it with Red Dead Redemption. This isn't open world either. It's just more linear, kind of level based. And there's Resident Evil 4, which is a classic in my opinion. Probably my favorite games of all time. Probably top 10 or top 20 at least. You know, probably not to say too much about that game. It's about as good as the GameCube version, though, like the graphics, and they added you know, some new stuff to it, like the Ada Wong chapter and some new weapons. You know, Star Wars Battlefront 2. These games are alright. I just bought it for the bomb match mainly. Kind of sad where that series is gone too, but yeah, Shell Shock Nam 67. It's a Vietnam era third-person shooter. It's okay. It's pretty repetitive, and kind of straightforward. It's made by Guerrilla Games, who made the Killzone series and the Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah, it's okay for into Vietnam themed games. Then we have a Conflict Vietnam. It's alright. In this game you get to drive vehicles and there's like an upgrade system. Almost like a role-playing game. The shooting's, it's okay. Works, I guess. Then we have Max Payne. It's another game I've owned for close to 17 years now. Great game. Probably my favorite in the series. You know, it's one of the first games to really do bullet time. You know, they're trying to imitate like a John Woo movie or The Matrix, which was popular at the time. Then with Dead to Rights, which was kind of a rip-off of Max Payne, except they did a few different things, you know. There's more melee combat, you can control a dog. There's a lot of mini-games, which got kind of annoying after a while, but it's an okay game. Well, yeah. I've entered The Matrix, you know, based on the films, obviously. It's alright, it's rated teen, there's no blood or anything, and it has an auto-aim system that I don't really care for, but you can do some cool stuff with the slow motion, like in the focus mode. You can run up walls and do all these crazy kung fu maneuvers. It's pretty cool. We have Devil May Cry, which was the first game I played on PlayStation 2. And it still holds up pretty well. It's still pretty badass. Oh, then we have the second one here, which is a downgrade. It's not quite as good. It's a lot easier. I don't know. It's not a very good game, really. It's playable. That's all I can say about it. Well, there's Blood Rain, one of my favorite Max Payne knockoffs, if you will. It's pretty good. You get like unlimited slow motion, and you know he plays a half vampire, half human. You know, and you go around slaughtering Nazis and all kinds of other creatures. It's a really gory game. It's a lot of fun though. Yeah, Blood Rain 2. Which is another downgrade sequel to me, you know. It just made you feel weak in this game. Like, in the first game, at the end of it, you fight a god, basically, and defeat him. In this game, you're getting beat up like common thugs with axes and crowbars. It's just, I don't know, they made you feel weaker in this game. They changed a few other things, too. Well, we have the first SOCOM, which, in my opinion, has the best campaign out of the series. It's more stealth-based, and I just like the missions overall. Yeah, online multiplayer was okay, except you die way too easy, like 2 shots and you're dead, basically. So I didn't play a ton of it. SOCOM 2, though, this game, it's a legend. The campaign's, it's pretty good, I guess. It's a little less stealth-focused, but the multiplayer is where it's at here. I mean, I was addicted to this game for, I don't know how long. It's just a really awesome game. You get, like, all the maps from the first game, plus 12 new maps and some new modes and guns and things like that. Yeah, one of my favorite games of all time, as far as multiplayer at least. Yeah. SOCOM 3, which the campaign was still pretty good. The multiplayer started going backwards here though, like the map designs weren't very good, there was a lot of camping. I mean, it was nice they included vehicles, but most maps, most games I played, people didn't enable the vehicles, so that kind of sucked. Yeah, campaign is still pretty good. Multiplayer is, they did add the ability to customize their weapons, like you'd add grips or scopes and things like that. One sec here, I was playing this just a little bit ago. SOCOM Combined Assault, which is kind of like an expansion of SOCOM 3. There's some new campaign missions, and you can play co-op online. I didn't play a ton of it. I played the campaign. That was about it. And then this is where the game series start going downhill. I think this one's rated teen for some reason. I don't know. The game just, steadily went downhill after that. Well, they went to the Hitman trilogy. Hitman 2, Silent Assassin, Contracts, and Blood Money. I love these older Hitman games. Probably Contracts is probably my favorite. Yeah. Yeah. And finally here we got the Metal Gear Solid Collection. Well, the Essential Collection. And the first Metal Gear Solid, that's one of my favorite games of all time. I mean, I played it back in the day when it first came out on the PlayStation 1. Yeah, it says, the first game, Part 2, and Snake Eater, Part 3. Yeah, I got this for $20, and, $20 well spent. Probably my second favorite's probably the third one. The second game kind of sucked. I didn't really care for it. It just, I don't know. Like, you don't play as Snake, you play as Raiden for most of the game. But that didn't bother me so much, but I just didn't care for the game overall. I don't know. The story wasn't that interesting to me. Anyway, that's it for now. Should have a part 2 up pretty soon here. I'll probably cover... It'll be a little bit shorter than this one, but yeah, that should be up pretty soon. But yeah, thanks for watching.